Hi Interior, I'm Abbie Roden. I am the co-founder of Amie, a wine brand, and the founder of Roden, a marketing and talent agency. Come in and welcome to our home. We live in Brook and we've been here for a little bit over a year. And I love it because you can walk to Notting Hill in 30 minutes. And also on our street alone, we have like 10 couples who have kids that are 2 and under. And being a mom of an almost 1-year-old, it's so nice to have other people who we can hang out with and text if we need a lemon or garlic or whatever we need. It's really like a neighborhood feel, which is awesome. And we have some amazing pubs here, a really good coffee shop and bakery called Debbie Joe, which we love, a market on Saturdays. It's a really, really great neighborhood. We love it. This is our living area, and I have a lot of favorite pieces in this space. One of my favorites is this. This is a studio bust, which is a 3D scan of me when I was pregnant with our son Teddy. And I just think it's so, so special. Something that I'll have forever. And it's just amazing that that was, I guess, my body whenever I was pregnant with Teddy. This piece of art I love. It's by Kara Rose Marshall, Tough Luck Studio. And that was my first ever commission. I really, really love it. I love the colors. I love horses. I'm from Kentucky, so you will see a theme in this house of horses, cowboys, cowgirls. It's all over the place. This is new. I love it. I wanted it for a few months now, but it covers our TV, which I love. I really hated that our TV was like just really big here on the shelf. So it's a curtain. The fabric is Framoy, and you can just kind of slide it open, and there's the TV. I love Morocco. It is one of my favorite places. We try to go when we can. It's a 3-hour flight from London. I found it actually in England at Kempton Market, and I just loved the colors. I loved how old and like the detail of it. And it is a Moroccan piece. I thought it would look so cool in front of our fireplace. My best friend, her mom did this, and then she told me about this, and now I do it. I needed to play catch up and do it on a few pieces, but on the back of pieces, I write like where they're from. So I bought this in Franschhoek in January 2022. Something that people who love secondhand and like pieces with story, I just thought that was really special, and I feel like everybody should do that, because one day when you have all these amazing pieces and trinkets and art and things, people will then know where they came from, which I think is really cool. Over here, these 2 pieces of art. So I love this piece. We went to Kenya to celebrate my dad's 60th birthday, and there was this photographer. There's an island called Lamu in Kenya, and he did all of these amazing pictures. This one was from 1996, I guess. That's what it says in the corner. But I just loved all of the natural wooden frames and the black and white photos. I just loved his pieces, and I knew I had to get it and bring it back with me. And then this picture, actually, we go to France with my husband's family most summers, not every summer, but most, and I am obsessed with the brocants, and I wake up at 5 a.m. and I go to all the markets, and I found that for like 30 pounds in that frame and everything, and I just loved it. I guess when it comes to interiors, I'm definitely like very new to interiors. I don't really feel like I know what I'm doing, but I do love it, and I feel like in the last few years I've really gotten more interested in it, probably moving into more of a house. We used to live in a tiny flat, so there's a little bit more space to play around with. We also have a wine bar, Amie, our wine brand. We have a wine bar called Amie Wine Studio. That was probably my first time getting to like pick pieces that I loved and kind of like picking colors and textures. Almost all the furniture in Amie Wine Studio is secondhand, and I feel like that's kind of what our home's like too. A lot of this is like hand-me-down from my grandmother or from markets or Vinteria or wherever. I think the colors, there's a bit of a theme in my life, I guess. The burgundies and browns, those are the Amie colors as well. But kind of more warmer tones, I think I'm drawn to over cool tones. Moving into this kind of area, I don't know what we call this area, but usually there's a big play mat here for Teddy and his toys, but I took that out for this video. But this piece, I really, really love it. I got this at Chiswick Antique Market on like the high road, and we were looking for something kind of long that could go here, and I saw it and I was like, I have to get it. And I literally like Ubered back here, measured to just make sure gave the guy a 20-pound deposit and then went back and got it. This painting has a really, really interesting story. So I am a photographer as well. So photography at Roden is one of the services that we offer to brands. And I was on a photo shoot for a fashion brand. It was quite an editorial shoot in this girl's grandfather's apartment in Notting Hill. And we were shooting in front of this piece. And I said, I love that piece of art. It's so cool. And she was like, you can have it. I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, my grandfather's moving out of this apartment and everything has to go literally by tomorrow morning because someone was coming and taking everything out. And so I called my husband and I was like, we have to get this painting. The frame alone, I'm just obsessed with it. And he, got in the car and came and picked it up. And that's how we got that piece. And this is from Vinterior. Again, horseshoe. It was a really random purchase, but I just loved the shape of it and I'd never really seen anything like it. So I bought it. I love it. It's so much more interesting to have pieces that have a story to tell instead of all new everything, and it adds so much character, I think, for our businesses as well. Amie Wine Studio, we have a really exciting project coming to in London next to Amie Wine Studio called Weezies, and that is going to be awesome for a second-hand space. I just think it's sustainable. They have character. There's so much more to older pieces than what you get when you just buy something that's brand new. And then this is our dining area. I love the light in here. As a photographer and someone who creates content a lot for work, natural lighting obviously makes such a difference. And I guess the art in here is something that I really, really love. This piece here was a piece that was in Amie Wine Studio when we first opened. It's by Frankie Thorpe. And that's when Amie Wine Studio was meant to be a 3-month pop-up 3 years ago. I said to my husband, well, I need this because it's a memory of our pop-up wine bar. And now we still have Amie Wine Studio, which is nice. And I have the piece of art, which is really nice. That painting on the top is by Lucy Kent. That's a painting of the view in Northern Ireland from where my husband and I got engaged. The fish were Kempton Find. I loved it. I just thought it was so fun. I love the colors in it as well. So there are a few pieces that I love in this area. Probably my favorite piece is this, which is the original Amie artwork. So originally the faces were drawn in lavender, but as I said earlier, I am really drawn to burgundy and I just couldn't get that color. I couldn't get in with the lavender. I really thought it needed to be burgundy, but that's the original kind of writing as well. So that is our original artwork for the label and logo. This is our label. So this is our original rosé, which is what we launched with 5 years ago. And my husband and I were kind of living at home with his parents during COVID lockdown, and his dad has a couple of wine shops in Oxford, and Will, my husband, started helping his dad with online deliveries. And I think it made Will realize there's a gap in the market for a direct-to-consumer wine brand in the UK. At the time, there weren't really any. So we thought, why not? Let's try it. And we ordered almost 3,000 bottles of the original rosé, and that was it, rosé to start with. And that sold out in 6 or 7 weeks. So then we were like, okay, we're maybe onto something. And then we've kind of just grown the brand organically from there. This plant, my dad gave me this when I moved to London 8 years ago. And I mean, poor thing, I don't know how to keep it up and take care of it, but it's still going. And somebody should tell me how to take care of the leaves, I think. But I can't bring myself to get rid of it because my dad bought it for me in my old apartment when I lived with 3 roommates. So that's what that is. And then these bowls, I love all of them, but I think my favorite is this one, which is a wedding gift. I love the marble in it, and I just love the paint that's dripping down it. My step-grandparents got us this, and they found it in France, and they wrote a really cute story with it, which we have in a box, of course, because they keep everything. But it was the story of how they found it, which I thought was so sweet. So that is the downstairs area, and then kind of going this way and up the stairs. This is a mirror that I got off of Interior. I feel like it's kind of a narrow space, but quite nice to have something there. It makes the room feel bigger. And then This is a bit of real life with the stair gate for the baby. I have this dream, and I haven't done it properly yet, but I love old photographs of like grandparents and like us when we were babies, but I really want to fill this with like old photos mixed with new photos and like a lot of different kind of vintagey looking frames. It needs some work for sure, but I just think it'd be so fun, and it's such a fun way to display family photos. We are now in our spare bedroom, and my favorite piece in this room is absolutely this piece. This was an old barn door at my grandparents' farm in Kentucky. Again, obviously I love old things, and we have turned it into a headboard, and this is something else that came over on that ship with like all the other stuff from Kentucky. I just love it. I love it so much. And then in this corner, these are other Kentucky things from my grandma. That mirror was in their house. This dresser was in their house. Really sadly, this had a marble top, and it came in pieces off the ship. But that's okay. So I put concrete on top. Maybe one day we can put more marble on it. This is kind of like a Kentucky room, I feel like. But these little pieces here are like little poems. So that one says, "Bury me in old Kentucky." And then this one says, "I've never met a Kentuckian who wasn't either thinking about going home or actually going home." Kentucky room. So now we are in Teddy, our almost 1-year-old son's room. We didn't know if we were having a boy or girl, so we thought like browns and greens were kind of like for anything. The most special piece is probably this chair. Basically, my mom used to be a realtor and found this chair in a house she was selling in Kentucky. And they were like, "You can buy it for $10. My mom bought it for $10, and then we recovered it when I was in college. It was in my college house. Like this chair's been with me for a long time. And again, when that ship came, all of those other pieces are coming. I was like, well, I have to get the round chair. And we weren't sure really where to put it. Obviously quite a big chair, and this is a small room, but we thought, let's just put it in here. It'll be really cozy and comfy for like reading books to Teddy. And I got it reupholstered with Framoy fabric. Love Framoy. Probably my favorite thing about this room. More art in here. Obviously, Glen Arif is where Will and I got engaged in Northern Ireland. My dad is from Northern Ireland. So I grew up doing an amazing walk that was kind of in Glen Arif. So that's a really special place for us. This painting I got at a market for £10, and I was pregnant when I saw it. I feel like it's mom and baby, and I just love it. Yeah, it's a real mix in here, I feel like. We took Teddy home to Kentucky in April, so he was 4 months old, and my best friends threw a party, like a baby party for him, and this was one of the banners that they had hanging up with the little cowboy hats on, and I just thought, well, we can't throw that away. It has to come home with us. This dresser is another one from Kentucky that was my grandmother's. The marble top did survive, which is nice. This was a little hat that the nurses put Teddy in whenever he was born, which I just love. I thought we have to get it framed with the little welcome to the world sign. Now we are in our bedroom, and I feel like the light in here on a sunny day, it's not sunny today, which is sad, but it's beautiful lighting in here, which is just so nice. It's such like a light and airy room when the sun's shining. And there are a few pieces in here that I really, really love. Our bedside tables, I love them, and I found it quite hard to find kind of smaller bedside tables that were like older with a bit of character. I love the shape of them. I love the wood on them. Found them at Kempton, and literally like 3 people were like looking at them, you know, whenever you're like, okay, well, if I don't buy it now, somebody else is gonna get it. And then this bench, I love the wood and the texture on it, I think is amazing. I love how like not perfect it is. I think that's the other key thing too, is I love things that are not perfect, like not symmetrical, a little bit messy. I think the more messy, like the more character something has. This piece here was hand knit by I think my aunt or great aunt or something. Came from Kentucky, obviously, but it's like hand stitched, which is really cool. And then it has her name in 1993 on the bottom, which I love. This is an illustration of Will and Me on Our Wedding Day by an artist called Aline Tor. She's great. She does really cool illustrations. She's a fashion illustrator. So this piece is probably the most special piece, probably one of the most special pieces in our house, I would say. But my mom had this in her room when she was a little girl in Kentucky on the same farm where the barn door is from. And this came over on the ship and was broken in pieces. Literally, it was destroyed. Will wanted to throw it away, and I was like, absolutely not. It was like, by the way, this has been painted like every color you can imagine throughout the years. But I was like, there's no way we're throwing it away. I spent probably way too much money getting it fixed, but I'm so glad we did. I love it. I think it's so unique. It's really, I don't know. I don't really feel like I've seen many pieces like it that are like the triple mirror and have the spot for the chair. And I just love it. I think obviously the story and like the sentimental part of it, but also just like the shape of it. I think it's so fun. And then this was a market purchase that I just loved. Again, the wood and the texture, I just thought it was a really unique chair. Didn't really know where to put it for a long time. Still don't know if it's great there, but it works for now. And then I guess the other thing here is this mirror and brush were Weezies, my grandmother. So just kind of fun to have them sitting on the vanity. So yeah, that's it. That's our home. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks so much for coming, Interior.